Tonight, Facebook is admitting it was wrong to censor a pro-life group. Live Action President Lila Rose declared in a tweet that in a meeting with Missouri Republican Josh Hawley, Mark Zuckerberg said Facebook was wrong to censor me and Live Action, that there was clear bias and that the fact-checkers were activists. CBN News asked Senator Hawley about bias and censorship within Facebook.
Facebook has a pattern now of censoring pro-life voices and pro-life organizations, and that's what they did with Live Action. They censored Live Action's pro-life content, and the worst part about it was the supposedly neutral board that makes these decisions for Facebook included 2 pro-abortion activists. So I called Facebook out on it. I said, this is outrageous, and you have a pattern now of doing this.
Well, Chris Lewis is the president of the Public Knowledge Group and the man we always turn to when we need a gut check on some of these issues with big tech potentially acting in bad faith. Chris, always good to see you.
Thanks, Sam and John.
Chris, how prevalent is this type of bias and censorship, and how significant is it that Facebook is acknowledging that it was wrong?
Well, you know, if Facebook feels that they were wrong in how they moderated content, they should own up to it. You know, the important thing here is that we have the power of who has the power to censor or moderate content in the right place. It shouldn't be coming from the government. That's why we have the First Amendment. We have platforms that are empowered to have clear, transparent rules about how they moderate content. We want to encourage that. And we also want to encourage consumer choice so that users can go to other platforms if they feel like one platform or another is not meeting their needs.
This is a hot button issue we often hear about from our viewers at CBN.
Yeah.
How closely have you at Public Knowledge been following this particular issue?
You know, we've been following the concerns about bias in platforms for a while, and you know, I would say that it seems that some of the accusations are sometimes overblown. However, you have one example here where Live Action felt like the decision that was made with their specific content was unfair. And that's why, you know, transparent rules, fair appeal rights, and due process are important with these platforms. We want to empower the platform to make the decisions so that we don't have to rely on the government to come in and make hard and fast rules.
What does Facebook need to do to be addressing situations like this? And do they owe more than just a public apology?
You know, I think, you know, owning up to when they think they've made an incorrect decision is important, and then going back and correcting the content that they moderated is what we're looking for. But we also want to see companies like Facebook to support rules and policies that will bring more competition to the marketplace, give consumers more choices. You know, most of the studies that we see around bias in content moderation really show that there is not an ideological conservative or liberal bias, but there's more of a bias towards things that will go more viral. So when you look at things that are reposted or retweeted on Facebook or Twitter, it's often news sources from mostly conservative sources that are posted the most. So it's hard to say that there's a bias against conservatives, but you really want to have a process that can check who's making the decision on what is allowed, what's not allowed, what's over the line, what's not over the line.
Is there anything more that leaders can do other than write strongly worded letters?
You know, I think it's fine if leaders you know, want to work the refs a little bit, and we're seeing that from Senator Hawley. But I think the most important thing we can do is stand up for you know, the rights and the preservation of the First Amendment, that we don't want the government overstepping its bounds and saying what content is fair and what content is not fair, and to promote rules that allow for the marketplace to work out these things and let the platforms make these decisions and then have an appeal process.
All right, Chris Lewis, we always appreciate you joining us.
No, thanks for having me.
Thank you.